Hey guys, welcome back! Today I'm going to showcase every single legendary in Pixel Blade, and I'm going to be rating them out of 10 points. Each legendary is going to be rated at level 2. Also, it's giveaway time. I did make a short of the giveaway, but it did not gain that much traction, and I wanted more participants. So this video is for the giveaway too. There is going to be one winner and will be announced on the 29th of November. Anyways, let's start the video with World 1 legendaries. The first legendary in World 1 is Infested Blade. Base damage does 48 damage and 17.5 crit percent. The ability is a Bloodstorm. The range is pretty decent, however the damage is bad. Only doing 13.2 poison damage and 6.6 ice damage per a tick. So I would rate this weapon out of 4 out of 10. Decent range, but horrible damage. Not recommend. Next weapon is Imperialist. Base damage is 66 damage and crit chance is 17.5%. The ability is called Lightning. What it does is shoot a lightning bolt that travels through each enemy and does decent damage. The damage does 169.3 damage per an enemy. This sword is very good for crowd control. However, there's one problem. It's horrible for bosses. So out of 10, I will give it a 7.5. Great crowd control, but horrible boss damage. Recommend in duos or trios. For the final World 1 legendary, we got Solar. Its base damage is 64 damage, and crit percent is 15%. Its ability is called Solar. It shoots a laser beam from the sun and lasers nearby enemies. Its range is decent, and its damage is very good, doing 91.2 damage per a tick. The ability hits an enemy at least 10 times. This sword is also a boss killer, while somewhat being able to control a crowd of enemies. So out of 10, I would give it a 9. Highly recommended for any game mode. Now time for World 2 weapons. First is Stellar. Base damage does 62 damage, and crit chance is 25%. The ability is called Constellation. What it does is that you dash into 4 enemies and do damage to them. Its ability does 165.3 damage on each enemy. Also, it can stack on one single enemy, doing 661.3 damage on it. Out of 10, I would give it a 9 out of 10. Highly recommend in campaign. Next, we got Dragonheart. It does 120 damage on level 2 and 15% crit chance. The ability is called a Blaze. It has a ring of fire that does damage in the ring. And if you have friends in your game and use the ability, your friends will gain a speed buff and flame damage while the ability is active. However, the damage is pretty low and that can be a flaw. So out of 10, I will give it a 6. Only use if you're in duos or trios. Then we got Golden Hand. Level 2 damage does 120 damage, and crit has a 20% chance. The ability is called the Golden Army. It spawns 3 minions that attack for you. Each minion does half of your damage and has 3/4 of your health. They also each last for 20 seconds. So out of 10, I would give it an 8. Recommend in raids in World 1 and World 2. Now it's World 3 legendaries next. First legendary is Titan. It does 140 damage at level 2 and 20% chance to get critical. The ability is called Void Grip. You hold a barrier for 6.5 seconds which absorbs damage, which after with the absorbed damage you hold release with a 1.5 times multiplier. Tip: you gotta release it in the 6.5 second mark or else it will now activate. Out of 10, I would give it a 6 due to its long cooldown and how much energy it takes. Recommend in campaign. After we got Ghost Katana. It does 105 damage at level 2, and its crit chance is 20%. Its ability is called Spiritual Wave. It's a dash ability that does 1.5 times your original damage. And every time you dash, you get a 5% health boost. Out of 10, I'll give it a 7. Recommend in campaign. The Necromancer and Skywatcher footage got corrupted, so I will be leaving videos in the description that talks about them. Anyways, thank you guys for 100 subscribers.